is they volunteer themselves. But there's also another, they refuse to be part of another group. And so we're actually getting extra coverage that we didn't have in the Northtown anyways. So now we have
We are on
additional coverage in a different capacity. Yeah, it's a fire chief agreement that they have between the 5 East District departments.
Included the 174th.
It wasn't. Yep.
Okay,
I'm not, I just need one more second.
sure, take
I'm
time.
sorry.
Okay, as we go through I'm gonna go through the notes,
Yes.
the minutes, generic form. And then I'll just ask for a motion in a second in each case. Then we'll bring them to vote. Try to. This will spend close to 50 minutes in executive session.
Yeah, it says,
Microphone's up.
yeah, when I restarted it, it seemed to work fine, so that's,
Is it working or no?
it's almost up
Okay, great.
and,
You're eating. In heaven,
Oh.
staring.
Some of these things I'm not gonna read entirely. Minutes will reflect the detail. Ready, Ange? Nope,
wanna,
I just see the. I missed that. Yes, you know, it's the break week is always the meeting, the association.
Association of Towns.
Yeah, did you want to send 2 people?
I'm not available
Oh,
this year, so I can't go. You said you were thinking of it?
Yes, it was February break, right?
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
so authorize just one person again, and then if you can go, Sarah, that'll be,
Yeah.
okay. That's the hardest thing. You got children in a family, a break week.
Don't you remember long ago, I heard that Carrie loved to stay at town board all night long? My life.
Are you at that point, Sarah?
Yeah.
Those 2 young individuals that are,
I can't hear you.
have issues with your parents. One of our counselors here had 6 children and he used to like to see the meeting go as long as possible so that they would all be in bed before he.
I don't think it's.
Made a legitimate attempt, Ange.
Huh?
You made a legitimate attempt. I don't think there's any requirement.
Oh, Oh, that's up to you as the.
Yeah.
Being a good parent, Sarah, you know,
He's logging for it. We do it out of courtesy.
we're not on live, so it's a lot more work than these.
Text back, you did 13 calls with him.
Max knows too, he's at that stage.
A handful of south calls. 13 calls to tell them what.
That's what minutes are for too,
That's
and
2 a day. That's roughly a day.
see it now work.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll have a more comprehensive.
All right, I might as well get them all right?
All right, yeah, I mean, it's up to you.
13 calls.
Right.
If it comes on, it comes on, but it doesn't. We're-
We don't have to fire trucks.
You made a
Plow the
legitimate
road.
attempt.
You did a nice job on Saturday.
Okay.
I was gonna text you, say, see, Rocky, I told you it wasn't gonna be a snowy.
Very good job.
Good thing we pulled everything. Yeah, exactly.
It happened, so.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to establish the town board schedule of the second and fourth Monday of each month at 6 P M. A motion from Max and a second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion and a second on establishing the town newspapers as the Eagle Bulletin and the Syracuse Post Standard. I have a motion from Jack and a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to establish the official depositories for all special district monies in the town at New York Cooperative Liquid Asset Security System, JP Morgan Chase Bank of North America, Bank of America, M&T Bank, Key Bank, and Salve Bank. I have a motion from Carrie, a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to reappoint Counselor Mannion as deputy supervisor from Sarah, a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Kate Warner as the deputy town clerk and that all her duties consist of those of the town clerk. I have a motion from Bernard and a second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that authorizes both Max and Sarah as delegates to the Association of Town meeting.
Can we flip the delegate and alternate?
Sure.
Sarah's probably going this year.
Sure, yep. I'll call for a motion from Bernard, a second from Carrie. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the comptroller to pay the annual membership fee to the New York State Association of Towns at $1,650. Motion from Max and a second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the attendance of one town official at the annual meeting in New York City this February. Motion from Max, second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. All right, I'll entertain a motion to authorize this following special appointments. Carrie Fusco be the special district budget officer. Doug Miller, the coordinator for compliance with American Disabilities Act. Bill William Good for the court attendant. David Jones, school traffic officer. Michael Norton is a special patrol officer. James DeWitt School District. Keith Lawrence, a special patrol officer at JD. Jeffrey McDonald, special patrol officer at ESM, and Lindsay Pinkowski is town constable at Holy Cross. Motion from Jack, a second from Sarah. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that authorizes Mannion and Company Law Office to provide assistance with the attorney of the town of DeWitt. Motion from Sarah, a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained. Motion's carried. Okay, resolved that the town attorney is authorized up to $250 in reimbursement for town-related court filing fees. Motion from Max, second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. Resolved that the Gary Fusco is appointed as the comptroller for the 2025 annual calendar. Motion from Jack and a second from Max. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I have a motion that Rocco Conte is appointed superintendent of the water. Motion from Carrie, a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that Shane Spencer is hereby appointed as chief of police and public safety for the town of DeWitt. A motion from Sarah and a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that Shane is appointed as the Freedom of Information Law Officer pursuant to Article 6 Public Officers Law for all requests to the town of DeWitt Police Department. Motion from Bernard, a second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. Resolved that Shane is authorized to appoint an officer of the DeWitt Department to act as the Freedom of Information Officer in his stead. Motion from Jack, a second from Joe. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. All right, I'll entertain a motion that outlines the committees, commissions, and liaisons in the format that I provided as an attachment. Don't have to read it all. I have a motion from Jack, second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Daniel Cornfield to a term of the Town of DeWitt Zoning Board of Appeals. Motion from Max and a second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. As you notice, we're gonna leave this blank right now, but we have two alternate positions. The earlier in the year we could fill these, the better for the zoning board attendance. All right, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Kelly O'Connor as chair of the ZBA. A motion from Joe and a second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any motion's carried. Entertain a motion to appoint Matt Natoli as attorney to the ZBA. Motion from Sarah and a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Sharon Halpin to the secretary to the zoning board of appeals. Max, second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Angela Eppolino as the clerk of the zoning board of appeals. Motion from Jack and a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. All right, planning board members, I think Randy Arnold, we want to move him into,
1 year term, yeah.
okay. Entertain a motion to appoint Randy Arnold
term through 2025.
for the vacant term that ends at the 2025. A motion from Max and a second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion's carried. All right, we want to appoint Doug Arena to a full term. This is expiring at the end of 24. Bernard, a motion from Bernard, a second from Max. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. As you know, we have two alternate positions. Again, it would behoove us to fill those as soon as possible. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Nate Brown as chair of the DeWitt Planning Board. Motion from Carrie, a second from Sarah. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Abstain, motion's carried. All right, I'll entertain a motion to authorize Jamie Sutton as the planning board attorney. A motion from Joe, a second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. Okay, I have a motion to appoint Julie Mickle as the position of the planning board secretary. Motion from Joe, a second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. The rec commission is like the LDC's been defunct for quite a long time. That's something maybe in 2025 we can try to piece back together along with rebuilding the Parks and Rec department. All right, the DeWitt Conservation Committee is 9 positions. It alternates back and forth, 2-year terms. This year's roster, current members are Gordon Heisler, Sonia Craig, Angela Wheeler, and Jonathan Kresch. I don't know if you noticed in the packet, but I provided Dr. Stephanie Johnson's resume as well to fill out with that position. Stephanie actually works for me at the Institute, and she lives right in Jamesville, and she'd be a great addition to me. Obtain a motion. Joe, a second. Carrie? Call for the-
Do it. We'll nominate her.
Yes.
So lucky, so lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other 4 members that are already in, they're good through 25 is Dennis Payne, Sharon Moran, Ann Stevens, and Martha. Okay, so I have the motion in a second. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, motion's carried. And again, we have 2 alternate positions with the TACC. We can look to fill those. Tree committee members, we have 4 positions, 2 are vacant. There are 5 existing members on the tree committee right now, and their positions run through 2025. That's Dave Mitchell, Kate Woodall, Gordon Heisler, and Mike Chappell. Okay, so we have Pam, Paula. I have asked Amy Samuels if she would serve in this position, and she still has not got back to me yet, but we still at a minimum have an additional vacancy on the tree committee. So, again, the earlier we fill this, the better. So I'll entertain a
Well, how
motion.
often do they meet at the tree committee?
Once a month.
Do they meet once a month?
First Tuesday of the month.
Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to authorize Pam and Paula. A motion from Joe and a second from Max. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Should carry. Okay. Police commission. All right, I'll entertain a motion to authorize board members, Chair Jack, commission members Sarah and Bernard, then non-voting members Ernestine Cooper, Susan Damari. I think John left the town, right? He's still on the list here.
Oh, he's there.
Is he still coming?
Yeah, he shows up all the time.
Okay, all right, good. He's a valuable asset.
Same thing to do with that, I think, actually.
Did he? Okay. All right. I know he moved, so. All right, so John Duncan, Laura Fiorenzo, Paul Godfrey, Daniel Moray, Robin Mahida, Dave Newman, and then there's East Syracuse representative or the mayor, Lorraine David, and the secretary is Shane. So I'll entertain a motion from Max, a second from Joe. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. Resolved that Matt Natoli is counsel to the police commission. Bernard and Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. Authorize the supervisor to sign the court security contract effective January 1. At a rate of $31 per hour. I have a motion from Joe and a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize licenses for the following trailer parks: Linden Trailer Park, Cliffside Trailer Park, or Fifth Garden Park LTD, the Midler Meadows Park, and Pleasant Valley, which is Doherty's Trailer Park / Hometown Communities. Entertain a motion from Max, a second. Sarah, Call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. I'll also entertain a motion that allows me to sign the contract with the SPCA for animal cruelty services at an annual cost not to exceed $7,182. We got an updated number from them just this week. Entertain a motion from Max, a second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that allows execution of the contract with the SPCA for dog control at a cost, not annual cost, not to exceed $32,400. Entertain a motion. A second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same, motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion that sets the dog redemption fee at $185 per dog. Plus additional veterinary and medical costs as may be charged by the SPCA. So I have a motion from Max and a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried.
As long as they have ants here, how many dogs did they catch last year?
Don't tell me. I can find out.
Well, I thought you might know.
No, they don't really, they're not required to give us any information. But I can, if you ever want to know, I'll reach out and ask them. I don't know if they have it or not, but,
One of those zero, that's all.
Yeah, I don't know.
well, they are active. They do call us quite frequently about dogs and make sure they're registered.
Okay. Engineering. I'll entertain a motion to authorize signature with the engineering services contract with Miller Engineers and Associates. Motion from Jack, a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. Entertain a motion to allow execution of the agreement with the Trinity Fellowship for room use not to exceed $400. I have a motion from Sarah and a second.
Then for the
Bernard.
$400 for the whole year?
Yeah. Yep. I have a motion from Sarah and a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same. Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement with DigSafe at no cost to the town. Motion from Carrie and a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize signature of the communications contract with Kelly Smith. A motion from Jack, a second. Nobody seconds.
There you go, Carrie.
Harry. Oh, why do I tell him you second?
I can't leave Jack first.
I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Might get around.
Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize contract with the Center for Family Life and Recovery for Employee Assistance Program at a cost not to exceed $2,500. Sarah on the motion, Bernard on the second. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize Angela to attend the Onondaga County Clerks Association meetings at an annual cost not to exceed $200. Motion from Max, a second from Jack. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. All right, I'll entertain a motion on Angela to extend the receiver of tax representatives to the Onondaga County Association of Tax Receivers and Collectors meetings at an annual maximum cost not to exceed $200. Motion from Jack, a second from Max. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. Angela, those fees hasn't gone up in a decade.
No, and actually, I don't even use all the 200, so.
Yeah, okay. What I've always commented on, and I still will, that the Director of Planning and Zoning gets to go for $250.
Wow.
Oh.
Hang on that one.
I'll entertain a motion to authorize planning and zoning New York State Building Officials, Max. A second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. All right, under the blanket undertaking bond covering all town officers and employees as required by section 25 of town law. It's further resolved that the justices are specifically covered under said blanket undertaking as required by public officers. To entertain a motion. Okay, I got a motion from Jack and a second from Sarah. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. Were you worried about that, Sam?
I was.
What were you worried about? All right, anyways, I authorize the supervisor to file with the town clerk a copy of the annual financial report to the state comptroller in lieu of preparing a separate annual financial report. The town clerk is authorized to publish that summary thereof or on or before May 1st. I have a motion from Carrie and a second from Bernard. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, accounting officer, the town comptroller is designated as the accounting officer. I have a motion from Bernard and a second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion's carried. Highway general repairs. Resolve the provisions of section 284 of the New York State Highway that we agree that the monies levied and collected for the repair and improvement of highway and received from the state for the repair and improvement of highways shall be expended as follows. The general sum of $2,366,544 may be expended for general repairs on 128.83 miles of town highway, including sluices, culverts, and bridges having a span of less than 5 feet and boardwalks or renewals thereof. Entertain the motion.
Mark, is that sufficient?
Yeah, I've been advised in the past that that's as far as I have to read. I have a motion from Jack and a second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. All right, I'll entertain a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the New York State DOT highway work permit for general maintenance of town utilities within state right of ways. A motion from Jack and a second from Max. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion to authorize payment of compensation of the Board of Assessment and Review in the following amounts. The organizational meeting, $20 per hour, and when they sit as a Board of Assessment Review, for $20 per hour. I think I requested, but I don't know if it's gone through. You guys look at that over when we look at fees. We can establish that at 20 for now, but I think a lot of bars are getting more than that. Okay, I have a motion from Bernard, a second from Gary. Call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. Mileage reimbursement at the IRS standard rate for 2025. Bernard and a second from Sarah. We'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same motion's carried. Okay, I'm gonna read the salaries and we'll just do one motion and resolution at the end. Okay, so this is, bear with me, but I'll carry this through. All right. Each counselor would receive an annual salary of $19,000 per year. The supervisor's salary is $58,000. The deputy supervisor is $3,000. The town justices, both Young and Rennie, is $44,500. The clerks to Justices Briggs is at 24.62 an hour, and on July fifth, it will go to 24.94 an hour. Clerk McClure, it's at 22.05 an hour, and on September 26th, it would go to 22.37 per hour. Stenoff is at $20.76 per hour, and on August fifth, it would jump to 21.09. Court attendant clerk, Good would receive $20 per hour. Special patrol officers, Norton is at $40 an hour. Pinkowski, Donald and Lawrence are all $40 an hour as well. Comptroller personal aid, Kathleen DeMung is at $26.21 an hour, and on November 27th, we go to $26.59. The assessor is at $89,760. Susan Wolf is at $15.50 an hour. Clerk. Town attorney is at $70,000 per hour, and the zoning board attorney is at $70,000 as well. The town clerk, tax receiver Eppolito is at $64,760, and records management at $25,000 per hour. Deputy town clerk Kate Werner is at $23.97 per hour, and on August 22nd, 25, she goes to $24.30 an hour. Part-time clerk is at Lori Worth is at $20 per hour. The highway superintendent Rocco Conte is at $95,000 per year. Secretary to the highway superintendent Seminaro is at $23.96 per hour. The Parks Department and Property and Building Maintenance oversight is Superintendent Conte at $13,500 per year. The police chief, Shane Spencer is at $135,827 per year. Deputy police chief is vacant right now at $129,359. Captain White is at $123,199. Police lieutenants Fuller and Pace are at $114,073. Recreation Department Director is vacant. The acting director of recreation, Sandy Elsey, is $30.90 per hour. Website coordinator Armstrong is $2,000 per year. Planning and zoning director, Lana Cantrell is at $91,800 per year. Codes enforcement officer Rick Bosch is at $32 per hour. Clerks, Ann Burgandy and Sharon Halpin are at $20 per hour. The planning secretary, Julia Mickle is getting $200 per meeting, and secretary of zoning, Sharon Halpin is getting $200 per meeting as well. Water superintendent Conte is getting $30,000 per year. And through, I believe that's the list. As it stands. Any questions, or I'll entertain a motion to authorize the 2025 salaries.
I got a question.
Yeah.
On the code enforcement, Mr. Russell was previously a town employee part-time. He is not included in this.
Yes, he's not. Yeah, no, Alana and the rest of the department made that call.
Okay.
Not this, I just want to be on the record. It wasn't the board. I'll entertain a motion, to accept the 25 salaries from Bernard, second from Carrie. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion's carried. Okay, likewise, I'll entertain a motion to authorize the 2025 holiday schedule as presented. There's 13 days, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9.
Thanksgiving Day and day after.
Yeah, there's 13 days total. Schedule. And I do think there's an ongoing federal discussion about New Year, Christmas Eve, but
Yeah, for 24, but nothing permanent as far as going
Okay.
forward. Did it
Yeah.
last year.
all right, so anyways, I'll entertain a motion to authorize that schedule from Sarah. Second from Joe. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. From Jay, second from Bernard. Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. Sarah's not opposing. The kids still up? Kids still up. All right, anyone that needs a signal.